Welcome back to Daily English Loop. I'm Alex, and this is the place where learning English feels easy, natural, and part of your everyday life.
And I'm Lisa. Today, we're talking about one of the most useful topics for any English learner, everyday survival English.
Yes, not complicated grammar,
Not rare vocabulary that you will never use.
just real English for real life.
The kind of English you need at a coffee shop, in a clothing store, on the street, on the phone, or when you make plans with a friend.
Exactly, because many learners study English for years but then freeze when they have to use it in a real situation.
That happens all the time. You walk into a cafe or someone asks you a simple question and suddenly your mind goes blank.
So today, we are going to fix that.
We'll go through common daily situations and give you simple, natural phrases you can really use.
The goal is not to sound perfect,
The goal is to feel ready,
calm,
natural.
and confident enough to speak.
Exactly. So let's begin with a place many people visit every day.
The coffee shop.
A very important place.
Extremely important.
Okay, imagine you walk into a cafe. The barista smiles and says, "What can I get for you?"
A beginner might say, "I want coffee."
And that is understandable, but it can sound a little too direct.
Right, not angry, but not very smooth or polite.
So a better phrase is, "I'd like."
For example, "I'd like a medium latte, please."
Or another very common phrase, especially in American English, is, "Can I get?"
"Can I get a small black coffee, please?"
Very natural.
Very useful.
And after that, the barista may ask, "For here or to go?"
That is such a common question.
For here means you will stay in the cafe.
To go means you will take the drink with you.
So your answer can be very short. To go, please.
Or, "For here, please."
Simple and easy.
Another common coffee shop question is about size.
Right. Small, medium, or large.
And sometimes they may ask, "Would you like anything else?"
If the answer is yes, you can say, "Yes, I'd also like a muffin."
And if the answer is no, just say, "No, that's all, thank you."
That is such a useful phrase in many places, not only cafes.
Definitely. "That's all, thank you" works everywhere.
Okay, now let's leave the cafe and go shopping.
Another survival situation.
Yes, let's say you are in a clothing store and you find a jacket you like.
But maybe the size is wrong.
Or the color is not what you want.
So first, how do you begin politely with a store employee?
2 magic words. Excuse me.
Always useful.
Excuse me, do you have this in a medium?
That is a perfect shopping phrase.
You can change only one small part and use it in many ways.
Do you have this in black?
Do you have this in a larger size?
Do you have this in blue?
Very flexible phrase.
What if you want to try it on?
Then you ask, "Where is the fitting room?"
Or, in some places, "Where is the changing room?"
Both are useful.
And if you are not sure how something looks, you might ask, "Do you think this fits me?"
Or if you want a simpler question, "Does this look okay?"
Nice and natural.
Then comes the money question.
Ah, yes. How much is this?
A very important phrase.
And also very simple.
How much is this? Or how much are these, if you are asking about something plural like shoes or pants.
Good point.
And at the register, the cashier may ask, "Would you like a bag?"
Then you can say, "Yes, please," or "No, thank you."
Everyday English often works like that, short, polite answers.
Exactly. You do not need long sentences for everything.
Okay, next situation, you are outside and you are lost.
A classic travel and daily life problem.
Your phone battery is low, your map is not loading, and you need help.
So again, we begin politely. Excuse me.
Then you ask a simple question. Where is the nearest subway station?
Or, where is the nearest bus stop?
Or, where is the nearest ATM?
Very practical.
And then comes the hard part, understanding the answer.
Yes, native speakers may speak quickly.
But usually you only need a few direction words.
Such as, go straight,
Turn left.
turn right,
It's on your left.
it's on your right,
It's on the corner.
across from.
Next to.
These little phrases are incredibly useful.
I think one good strategy is not to panic if you do not understand every word.
Very important.
Listen for the key direction words.
And if you still feel confused, you can ask, sorry, could you say that again?
Great phrase.
Or even, is it far?
I love that question because it is short and helpful.
Yes. If the answer is no, not far, you can walk.
If the answer is yes, it's pretty far, maybe you need a bus or taxi.
Exactly. So asking for directions does not need to become a long conversation.
Simple, polite, and clear is enough.
Now let's move to something more social, making plans with friends.
This is one of my favorite categories because it is so useful in daily life.
Yes. Suppose you want to invite someone to do something.
A very natural question is, do you want to?
Do you want to get lunch tomorrow?
Do you want to watch a movie tonight?
Do you want to go for a walk this weekend?
Very natural and friendly.
If you want to sound a little softer or more polite, you can say, would you like to?
Would you like to grab coffee after work?
Would you like to come over for dinner?
Nice and smooth.
Then the other person has to answer.
If the answer is yes, strong, natural responses are, that sounds great.
Or, I'd love to.
Or, sure, that sounds fun.
Much better than just saying yes.
Yes is not wrong, but it can sound a little flat.
Exactly. Show a little warmth.
What if the answer is no?
Then we want to be polite.
Right, a direct no can sound a little cold in some situations.
So a better answer is, I'm sorry, I can't.
And if you want, give a short reason.
I'm sorry, I can't. I have to work.
I'm sorry, I can't. I already have plans.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm really tired today.
Simple, polite, and natural.
I think this is one of the biggest lessons in everyday English.
What is?
You do not need to sound fancy. You need to sound considerate.
That is very true.
Politeness matters a lot in real conversations.
Okay, let's go to a situation that makes many people nervous. Phone calls.
Phone calls are scary for many learners.
Because you cannot see the other person's face.
And you lose body language, gestures, and facial expressions.
So everything depends on listening.
Let's say you need to call a dentist, doctor, or salon.
A very useful opening line is, I'd like to make an appointment.
Clear, polite, and direct.
Then the other person may ask, what day works for you?
Or, when would you like to come in?
And you can answer simply, do you have anything available on Friday?
Great phrase. Do you have anything available?
Very useful for appointments.
Another useful word is opening.
Right. Do you have any openings tomorrow morning?
That means, do you have any free times?
Exactly.
What if you're calling a store instead?
Then maybe you want to ask about business hours.
So you can say, what time do you close?
Or, what are your hours today?
Very practical.
And if you don't catch what the person says, use this lifesaver. Sorry, could you repeat that?
Or, sorry, I didn't catch that.
Extremely useful phone phrases.
Yes, and they sound natural too.
Now let's move to something that feels small but actually matters a lot. Small talk.
Small talk is everywhere.
At work, in elevators, at parties, in hallways, even before meetings begin.
And learners often underestimate it.
But small talk helps people feel comfortable with you.
Exactly. It's not about deep conversation, it's about social connection.
So, what is a good everyday greeting?
How are you doing?
Very common.
Slightly warmer than just how are you?
And the classic answer is, I'm good, thanks. How about you?
That last part matters a lot.
Yes, how about you keeps the conversation going.
It shows interest.
And it stops the interaction from feeling one-sided.
Another classic small talk question is, how was your weekend?
Especially on Monday.
Always on Monday.
And the answer does not need to be exciting.
Definitely not.
It was nice. I just relaxed at home.
It was good. I met a friend for lunch.
It was busy. I had a lot to do.
Then again, how about you?
Exactly. Throw the question back.
That one habit makes you sound much more natural in conversation.
I agree. Small talk is not about saying something impressive.
It is about keeping the social ball in the air.
Nicely said.
Thank you.
Another useful small talk topic is the weather.
Yes, safe and universal.
It's really hot today.
It's so windy this morning.
Looks like it might rain later.
Simple, easy, and very common.
Now, I think we should mention one important thing for beginners.
Go ahead.
In real life, you do not need a perfect answer for every situation.
That is so important.
If you know one or two good phrases for each situation, you can already do a lot.
Exactly. A small set of useful phrases can carry you through many daily conversations.
Coffee shop,
Store,
directions,
plans with friends,
phone calls.
small talk.
These are not rare situations. They are real life.
And that is why practicing them matters so much.
I also think repetition helps a lot here.
Definitely.
Say the phrases out loud.
Practice them in little role plays.
Imagine the situation in your head.
Even talking to yourself can help.
For example, in the morning, you can say, I'd like a coffee, please.
Or while walking outside, excuse me, where is the nearest station?
Or in your room, would you like to get lunch tomorrow?
That kind of speaking practice really works.
Because it prepares your mouth and brain for real moments.
And then when the real moment comes, you freeze less.
Exactly.
Okay, let's do a quick recap.
Good idea.
At a coffee shop, I'd like or can I get?
For here or to go. And that's all. Thank you.
In a clothing store, excuse me, do you have this in a medium?
Where is the fitting room? And how much is this?
For directions, excuse me, where is the nearest subway station?
Go straight, turn left, turn right, and is it far?
Making plans, do you want to or would you like to?
That sounds great. I'd love to. Or, I'm sorry, I can't.
On the phone, I'd like to make an appointment.
Do you have anything available? And what time do you close?
For small talk, how are you doing?
How was your weekend? And how about you?
That is already a strong survival guide.
Very strong.
And more than enough to help learners feel more prepared.
Before we finish, let's ask our listeners something.
Yes, which everyday situation makes you the most nervous?
Ordering food?
Phone calls?
Asking for directions?
Making small talk with coworkers?
Tell us in the comments.
And if you want, write one useful phrase you want to practice this week.
That is a great idea.
And if this episode helped you, don't forget to subscribe to Daily English Loop.
Thanks for spending this time with us.
Keep practicing your real-life English.
And keep using it a little more every day.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!